Good afternoon. I was grabbing some frozen stuff out of our main freezer, the freezers that is in our kitchen, and I found this bag of strawberries yesterday. This is not the strawberries we picked this year. I believe my mom gave me these a couple years ago from her own personal garden. So I have been defrosting them in the refrigerator, and I just pulled it out, and I am going to make strawberry syrup out of this. This is probably like 2 cups, maybe 3 cups. It's not enough to turn into jelly to can. And so what I'm going to do is boil it down to syrup, and I'm going to make strawberry ice cream. So we have a 2-quart Cuisinart ice cream maker. I've shown it before, and I'll show it when I get to that step. But when you make ice cream in this electric ice cream mixer, you do have to plan it out, because there's a barrel that you stick in the freezer to get frozen, and then you have to combine all the ingredients and let it refrigerate together. The ice cream mixture you want to refrigerate for 2 hours before you put it in the ice cream maker. So while I'm making this on the stove, I'm going to mix my ice cream mixture together real quick. So the Cuisinart came with a recipe guide that I completely lost, but it's okay because all this stuff is online now. So I looked it up real quick. So strawberry ice cream, we want 3/4 cup whole milk, 2/3 cup sugar, a pinch of salt, 1.5 cups of heavy cream, and 1.5 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I mix all that together and refrigerate it for 2 hours or overnight, but I'm doing 2 hours. I want to make this tonight. So I've got my milk, my cream, my vanilla, my salt, and my sugar. I'm going to get that all mixed together, and then I'll show you how I'm going to make the syrup. All right, I got all the cream stuff mixed together. It's looking very good. Cover it, and now I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for 2 hours. All right, to make the syrup, I'm not doing exact measurements. If you want exact measurements, there are absolutely exact measurements online, but the recipe I have says 2 pounds of strawberries. This is definitely not 2 pounds of strawberries. So I dumped the defrosted strawberries, left the juice in there because you need to add a little water. I'm just doing the juice that's in there. So I'm gonna add a teaspoon of lemon juice and then about 6 tablespoons of sugar. Mix that all together. Bring it to a high boil, and then once it reaches the high boil, bring it down to simmer and let it simmer for 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and see what the consistency is like. Now, if I was cooking this to can, I probably would worry about exact measurements, but I am just making this and just using up this bag that was frozen, and I'm just using it to turn it into syrup to make ice cream tonight. So I've made enough jellies and jams that I think I'm pretty good with my measurements. Basically, you add the sugar until it's the sweetness that you want. Strawberries are naturally sweet, so maybe you won't need to add too much sugar. Let me get a spatula to stir this better. All right, I licked the spoon that I used to stir it all together, and I think the sugar content is right on point. Now I got my spatula. I have old pans, so when you have old pans like this, you don't really want to use metal utensils to stir them because you could like nick the coating off. So I really do need to upgrade to newer pans, but sometimes I'm just like, what I got works. They may not be pretty, but they work. And I actually have been researching like new pots and pans, and there's just like, oh my God, too many choices. Too many like positive reviews, bad reviews. It's just overwhelming. So for now, I'm sticking with my old pots. Since there's probably only like 2 cups of strawberries in there, it did not take long to reach a rolling boil. So I've already turned it down to simmer, and I'm gonna let it sit here for 10 minutes on simmer. And then I am going to drain it. So you could, if you liked your ice cream, like if you were going to use this as a topping, you don't have to like strain out the strawberries. Like, you know, when you go to Dairy Queen and you ask for a strawberry sundae and it's strawberry syrup with chunks of strawberry, that's awesome. But what we're doing is we're making ice cream with the strawberries blended in. So I just want the syrup. I'm going to strain out the strawberries once this has simmered for 10 minutes. So I'm just saying, like, you could make perfectly strained syrup like I'm gonna make, or you can keep it a chunky syrup. Both are good, but I'm going for the strained syrup today. I just dumped the strawberries in the strainer over this bowl, and I'm just gonna let it sit here for a little bit, dripping down. You don't really wanna like push the fruit through. I've heard that that kind of makes it cloudy for whatever reason. Don't ask me why, but I've seen that in lots of videos. So I'm just gonna let it drip naturally through gravity. I still have another hour until the ice cream mixture is ready, and I want this to be cool, room temperature by the time we use it. So just let it sit here for an hour, or I might refrigerate it towards the end after it cools down a lot. So still got another hour. It's been about 20 minutes. I don't really see any more drips, so I'm gonna throw these strawberries away, and then I am going to cover this and put it in the fridge. It has cooled down. It's once I make the ice cream, it takes like 40 minutes for it to churn, so I will put this in the fridge until it's ready to add it to the ice cream. Okay, I added the syrup into the ice cream mixture. I mentioned that I usually add it at the end. That's when we want to make swirls. I'm not worried about making swirls. So put the syrup in. Now I'm gonna pour the mixture. This is the chilled barrel, and then the barrel goes in there, sits right in there. Pour the mixture in, and then this is the, does it go this way? No, it goes this way. This is the paddle. Let me pour the mixture in and I'll show you. All right, I put the paddle in, and then you put the lid on, turn it on, lock the paddle in place, and now it just churns. And this recipe said 40 minutes. I'll check it at 20 because last time I made ice cream it was only 20 minutes. So, but the Cuisinart website said 40, so we'll see. This is about 20 minutes churned, and it's looking pretty good. I'm not for sure if I'm gonna go the full 40 minutes because I've made ice cream before and it's always been like 20 minutes, and it even says on the front as little as 25 minutes. So I'm thinking the 40 minutes is maybe a different Cuisinart maker. So I'm gonna give it 5 more minutes and say that's good enough. And then what I bought, so usually we'll eat ice cream and then the rest we'll just leave in the barrel and put it back in the freezer, and then we never end up eating the rest. So what I did was on Amazon, I bought these ice cream cups with lids. I bought like a huge pack of like 50. So, and they're, you know, food grade cups and lids. So I can fill each cup and seal it, and then that way anytime we want ice cream, we have these single serve. I think these are like, I don't know, half pint, single serve. So anyway, I'm just hoping that storing it in these will lead to less waste. All right, taste test time. So we did only churn it for 23 minutes. I just feel like that's plenty. I mean, look at this. It looks like a perfect soft serve. Oh my God. That's the first time I've ever made strawberry ice cream with syrup. Basically the fresh strawberries, the frozen fresh strawberries. What do you think, Robert?
Awesome.
It's really good. Oh my God, it is so good.
It's not overly sweet. Still got a little tartness. I like it.
I only put like 8 teaspoons of sugar in it.
Perfect. Turn good.
Oh my God, this has to be like, this reminds me of Dairy Queen. When you get the Dairy Queen strawberry sundae. Minus the chunks. Robert thought I was gonna leave the chunks in. Next time when it's fresh strawberries. Those strawberries were frozen for like 3 years and they weren't looking the prettiest. They taste good, they just didn't look pretty. I'll make it with fresh strawberries next time. So good. So now I'm gonna finish this and put the rest in these little, what do you call them, honey?
Little cups.
freezer cups.
Yep.
All right, so is that a cat meowing in the background? All right, we were able to make these 4, I want to say these are half pints. 4 half-pint containers. There's Sunny. Sunny, do you want some ice cream? She's like, yes, I smell ice cream.
She loves ice cream.
Here, give her,
I
show
don't know
her.
if strawberries are bad for a cat or not.
I don't think so. Show him how she
Come
likes
here.
the spoon.
Have your little scoop of ice cream.
She just got the smallest tongue. She's like, no.
It's too cold.
Oh, look at her cute little tongue.
That's good stuff.
You just give her a couple licks, that's all. That's all we do. Just a little treat.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, so anyway, these are going in the freezer. So technically I took strawberries out of the freezer, and now I'm putting ice cream into the freezer. Just the circle of life.